What's up, basketball fanatics? You think you know the WNBA drama? Think again. We're diving deep into a narrative that's got everyone buzzing. Sheryl Swoopes throwing shade, DeWanna Bonner standing tall, and Caitlin Clark. Well, she's just being Caitlin Clark. Is there a fire in Indiana, or is it just smoke and mirrors? I will dive into whether Sheryl has any right to say what she said, the facts behind those statements, and how the Indiana fever is shaping up. If you thought this was just about basketball, you're missing the bigger picture. This is about legacy, about challenging the old guard, and about how one team can redefine what it means to build a winning culture. So buckle up, because this isn't just highlight reels. This is a masterclass in basketball psychology. Let's go! Now, before we get into the juicy details of the Swoopes-Bonner-Clark triangle, let's set the stage. What exactly are we talking about when we talk about NCAA legacy? It's more than just stats and trophies. It's the entire package of achievements, impact, and enduring influence a player or team leaves behind. We're talking about the ripples they create across the sport, inspiring future generations and etching their names in the history books. We're talking about players that are legends in their own right. NCAA is a breeding ground for players with extremely high skill ceilings, and it's not uncommon for highly skilled players to come from the league. When we speak of legacy, we're speaking of the players that are capable of standing the test of time. Names like Maya Moore, Breanna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, and of course, Caitlin Clark. But what exactly is the defining factor that puts these players on a pedestal? It's an amalgamation of things: talent, skill, hard work, a deep understanding of the game, and the willingness to compete at the highest level. Not only this, they all must have some sort of hardware to back it up. NCAA is a proving ground, and it truly shows who is capable of standing the test of time. When we talk about these players, we acknowledge that their names mean something. When you're speaking about the legends, you know that the numbers speak for themselves. When someone goes into the NCAA, their goal is to build an unshakable legacy that will last the test of time. To understand the current situation, we need a quick history lesson. The NCAA has been the launchpad for countless basketball legends, both male and female. Think about Larry Bird coming from Indiana State, Magic Johnson from Michigan State, Michael Jordan from UNC, or on the women's side, Cheryl Miller dominating at USC, Rebecca Lobo leading UConn to dominance, and Lisa Leslie revolutionizing the game at USC. Each of these players not only achieved individual greatness, but also elevated their programs and the entire sport. Their influence extends far beyond their playing days, shaping coaching philosophies, inspiring young players, and setting new standards of excellence. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, it's important to acknowledge that basketball is a sport of evolution. Just as the NBA is evolving, so is the WNBA, and both leagues are taking inspiration from each other. NCAA is the testing ground that helps grow and evolve these players, and it gives these players the potential to hit their peaks. But with that, it's also important to understand that the NCAA is not the end-all be-all. Players grow and change, and it's important that the players grow with them. Many players are built up to be absolute legends only to crumble when they enter either the NBA or WNBA. The pressure is different, the speed is faster, and the player quality is much higher. But we're going to get into that a little later. Now, let's talk about Caitlin Clark. There's no denying that she has been a catalyst for change in women's basketball. Her electrifying play, her incredible range, and her sheer competitiveness have captivated audiences and shattered viewership records. Love her or hate her, you can't ignore the impact she's had on the game. She brought unprecedented attention to women's college basketball, filling arenas and driving television ratings to new heights. You can't deny that her impact is monumental. She broke records that stood for decades and brought mainstream attention to the sport in a way that hasn't been seen before. She has definitely earned her stripes and deserves to be recognized for her talent. This is where things get interesting. Sheryl Swoopes, a WNBA legend in her own right, threw a bit of a curveball into the narrative with some pointed comments about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Swoopes questioned whether Clark would be able to seamlessly transition to the WNBA, and even suggested that some players might be hesitant to join the Fever because of the perceived pressure and attention surrounding Clark. She added that there was toxicity around the Fever and even mentioned that players would not want to go there. The statements caused a stir. It sparked a debate about the responsibilities of WNBA veterans to welcome and support newcomers, the potential challenges of playing alongside a high-profile rookie, and the overall climate surrounding the Indiana Fever. When you think about all of this, you can see that the statements are pretty bold. Sheryl is an old-school player and understands the value of hard work and respecting those around you. But with these statements, it makes you question her validity. With these statements, Sheryl made a judgment on the Indiana Fever and all of its players, and well, she's entitled to that. It's also important that she keeps in mind that the world is rapidly changing and that judging something without fully understanding it can be detrimental. And whether or not her comments are true, it's important to not make such rash statements. Enter DeWanna Bonner in a move that spoke volumes. Bonner, a WNBA veteran with multiple All-Star appearances and a championship under her belt, signed with the Indiana Fever. More than just signing a contract, Bonner delivered a powerful message of support for Clark and the Fever, effectively shutting down the narrative that Indiana was a basketball wasteland or that players were avoiding the team. She expressed genuine excitement about playing alongside Clark and the young core of the Fever, praising Clark's talent, leadership, and ability to make her teammates better. With this move, Bonner did more than just sign. She also expressed her support for the Indiana Fever, and this is an important step for the team as it shows that there is veteran support behind the team. Bonner's arrival wasn't just about adding another talented player. It was about adding a leader, a mentor, and a proven winner. She brings a wealth of experience and a championship pedigree to a team that's hungry for success. She's not just here to score points. She's here to teach the younger players how to navigate the WNBA, how to handle pressure, and how to win championships. Bonner is definitely a player that can bring a wealth of understanding and experience to the Indiana Fever, and it's a big plus that she's willing to share it. With a mentor and leader like Bonner, the Indiana Fever have an opportunity to grow as a whole. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you never miss out. Click the video on the screen. See you.